you're doing well. Today we are going to continue with our first lesson in New Headway Upper Intermediate level. Some of you sent me messages about finding difficulty in downloading the PDF. So from the people who sent me messages and others who couldn't till now download the PDF, please, I want you to go back to Tanweer's Facebook page, and then you can find all the links and the details you want there. If you still find difficulty, please contact them personally on their WhatsApp number, okay? So you can get all the details you need. Today, I remember, I ended the last class, the fourth class, in giving you kind of homework. I don't know if you found time to do it. I think everybody has time these days. I wanted you to answer the questions about compound nouns. As I remember, I told you that compound nouns are, combining two words to make a new meaning or to have a new meaning, okay? It's like when I have life and style, so it's lifestyle. It's when I have like home and sick and homesick, they give a different meaning or a different word. So again, as I mentioned, I said like compound nouns can be, in adjectives and nouns, okay? Like homesick is an adjective, okay? And I remember that I answered the question about the difference between, words I can use with home and words I can use with house, which was like exercise 1. You have some new words in them like house bound, and also we can say homecoming and housewarming party or something like this. So if you find any difficulty in these words, I'm gonna explain some of them, but in case you have more, you want more details, you can go into a dictionary and look up the words, okay? As I said, like, when I said housebound, which means like, or we can say, we cannot say housebound, we can say homebound here. Okay, homebound is a person who cannot move out of his house because he's sick and very old, okay? So this is the idea of, saying homebound. And also we say homesick for people who are away from their country, they miss, and away from their home, so they miss their country, their house, their neighborhood, their friends, so they are homesick, okay? Now I want to talk about something regarding compound nouns. Sometimes you find them as one word, sometimes you find them as separated words, sometimes you find like hyphenated, hyphenated with like this sign in that separates the first word from the second word. So here we are going to talk about, my laptop is off. Here we are going to talk about when. Actually, like, it needs a lot of practice to tell when it's hyphenated, when it's one word, when it's it is like, separated. So they can come in two shapes, okay? Like one word, hyphenated, and open like phrases and combination, okay? So when I say like one word, like teapot, homework, homesick, homeless, okay, homepage, something like this. So, and when they are hyphenated, it's like when I say housewarming party, okay, this is a hyphenated sentence. Also when I say housebound, okay, also when I say housewarming, did I say that? Yes, I said that. Okay, like when I say house proud, also this is another word when they are hyphenated. Compound, like we say open phrases, like we have phrases sometimes like on and off, okay, like little by little. Also we have combination words like and they are separated, like washing machine, okay. I have different examples. We can check a lot of them here, but the idea here, like compound nouns, okay. When I have compound nouns, I have compound verbs, and I have compound adjectives. Compound nouns usually, okay, written as one word, usually. When I'm talking about compound verbs, generally they come into two parts, okay, like separated. And when I'm talking about compound adjectives, often, okay, often hyphenated. So if you notice that, the words I used, usually, generally, often, okay? So compound nouns usually are usually written in one word. Compound verbs generally written in two words, and compound adjectives generally, often are often hyphenated, okay? So this is what I wanted to say about when to use them as hyphenated, when to use them as one word, and when to use them as two words. And also, again, you need a lot of practice to, check all of them. Fine? Okay, good. Now, what I wanted to talk about, what we are going to talk about is the first exercise, the one that I gave you as homework. We are going to listen to it and check the answers if you did it at home or not. But again, we are going to check the answers. Okay? If you can't check, we will go now to the first exercise. Again, I gave it to you as I remember. We talked about it, okay? Let's go to to exercise number 3. Complete these lines with one of the compounds, and let's listen. Ready? Yeah, let's listen.
1. Do you think you could possibly water my houseplants for me? I'm away on business for 2 weeks.
No problem. I'd be glad to.
Okay, so the first request, she wanted him to, to water her houseplants because she's away from home. Or she will be away from home.
I'll keep an eye on your whole flat if you like.
Oh, that would be great.
Don't worry. I know how house proud you are.
I know how house proud you are. How house proud you are means like, a person who is very careful about how clean her house is. And, she always likes her house to be tidy, clean, and, fresh.
I'll make sure everything stays clean and tidy.
I'll do the same for you anytime,
Thanks.
2. Julie, have you heard? Anna's just been made managing director of the UK branch of her firm, so she's coming back from the States.
Oh, that's great news. Let's give her a spectacular homecoming party when she gets back.
Okay, they want to give her a, nice or spectacular homecoming party. Homecoming party is a compound noun we use when, someone is away from his home or and he's returning, so his friends, relatives, or maybe family members try to celebrate his return, so they make up homecoming party.
She's certainly the career girl of the family.
Doing really well, isn't she?
I know, and I'm happy for her. Oh, me, I'm just a housewife. 4 kids, homemade cakes, and homegrown vegetables.
Housewife? This is the first word she said, or compound noun, okay? Homemade cakes, and also homegrown vegetables, okay? So she used 3 compound nouns in her sentence: housewife, homemade cake, and homegrown vegetables.
And how are my wonderful grandchildren?
3.
We're having a housewarming party on the 12th. Can you come?
Yeah.
Housewarming party. Housewarming party when you move to a different or a new flat or a house, and you want to give the new address to your friends, relatives. So you invite them to a party to celebrate the new move. Okay?
Yes, you bet. We'd love to. But I didn't know you'd moved.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It's much bigger than the old one. Huge kitchen and 3 big bedrooms.
Ooh, sounds great.
Yeah. Mind you, there's much more housework to do.
But that's a drag.
There's much housework to do. Housework, okay, so also we can use it as one word here. And he said to her, like, it's a drag. It's a drag. It's something like really annoying and bothering because she has much work to do.
4.
Mom,
Oh, Max, come on now. You were so looking forward to going to camp.
But Mom, I hate it here. Why won't you and Dad come and get me?
Max, we can't. I never thought you'd be so homesick.
Okay, she had never thought he would be so homesick. Homesick is a person who is away from home. Okay, and he just wants to. He just feels bad because he's away. He misses everything related to home, friends, a neighborhood, and could be the family members.
And you'll be home in 2 days.
2 more days? Oh no!
5.
Hey, you going to Carly's on Saturday?
I don't know.
It's an open house. It'll be great.
Cool. Where are her parents then?
Carly says they're visiting her grandma. She's sick and housebound, so they have to help.
Housebound. Housebound is a compound noun we use when a person cannot leave the house because of being sick and ill and old. Okay, so this is this is the word we use.
Okay, count me in. I'll be there.
Actually, we are all housebound now these days, but not because we are ill and old, because we have the fear of being infected. Okay, so that was the question. Okay, question number 3. We all listened. Now let's move to the second exercise. I'm gonna give you a table. This table is, between 2 students. Let me imagine that student A and student B. What we are going to do here is to try to make compound nouns out of these 2 tables or 2 charts. Okay, let's start. Yeah, this is the table I told you about. I have A and B. I can use words from A and use many words from B to make a compound noun. Let me start with the word book. I can say many words, with the books to make different meanings. I can say bookcase, book bag, book rest, bookshelf. Okay, different words. The second word is tea. Also, I can say tea bag, teapot, tea light. For the word computer, I can say computer case, computer software, computer program. For the word sleeping, I can say sleeping pill, and I can say sleeping bag. For the word air, I can also use many words: airline, airway, airbag, airport, and air conditioning. Okay. Also in the program or in the chart, I can use. For the word door, I can say like 3 words: doorway, doorbell, and doorstep. Also, for the word junk, I can say junk food, junk, which means useless, unhealthy food. Fast food can be called also junk food. The second word is open. I can say open door. I don't have door from the second side, so in the second chart, so I can say open house. For the word food, I can say food bag, food poisoning, food pot, and food. Okay. Next, I have fire. I can say fire bell, firelight, fire escape, and also I can say fire alarm. Good. Now I have the word head. I can say headline, headway, headlight, head office, and headrest. Okay, so these are the words that we can use with this exercise, or as compound nouns, and I think it's enough. You can practice making them at home. I think most of the meanings here. I can say, like, I'm pretty sure that about 90% of the meanings here. If you don't, try to look them up in your dictionary, okay, and try to use them.
Text script 1.9.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a mistake. So we can use them in, our daily speech. Okay, good. Okay, now we got the last page in this unit. I know it took longer than it should, but as I mentioned before, it's okay for the first unit, and then we are going to change. Okay, and we are going to skip the things that I'm sure that you can do by yourself, and because you already knew how. Things that are not that important to be done. Things are related to classroom activities. Anyway, here the last page is about everyday language, the casual language we use on our daily life, the language you need when you get abroad, you need for communication in different situations and places. As you notice here, the first one they said like work with a partner, match the lines in A to B. We are going, we have two parts. Also, again, A and B. The first A is a person, and B is the reply or the word, the sentence that should or that fits the first from the first column. Okay, let's listen to it and explain if you need some kind of explanation, but they are not that difficult because I'm sure as upper intermediate level students. You know how to use this language, and again, language. The first unit is kind of introductory unit, so it's a kind of review to everything that you already took previously.
1.
Great to see you. Come on in.
I was just passing and thought I'd drop in.
Okay, I was just passing and thought I would drop in. Come to a short visit, okay?
2.
Excuse me, don't I know you from somewhere?
Don't I know you from somewhere? Like, you say this sentence when the person looks familiar to you. You think that you've seen the person before, but you don't know where and when. So you ask this question, don't I know you from somewhere? Haven't we met before? Something like this.
No, I don't think so.
3.
What do you mean you're not coming? Well, I just don't feel up to going out tonight.
Okay, so it looks here like that. As if somebody promised to go to a party or to go to hang out together, but one of them, is not up to he doesn't feel up to going out tonight.
4.
I'll have the chocolate mousse. What about you?
Actually, Adam,
It's kind of dessert.
I think I'll bother with dessert.
Okay, I don't think I'll bother with dessert. That means like she's not into, she's not in the mood, she doesn't want to eat it, okay?
5.
My flatmate can't make it to your party.
Really? That's a shame. I was hoping to meet her.
Okay, so cannot make it means like she cannot do it, okay? I don't think I can make it, I don't think I can do it.
6.
How come you're not having a holiday this year?
How come means why.
We just can't afford it.
They can't afford it, they cannot pay for it.
7.
You really should take it easy. You look stressed out.
That's as maybe, but I have a lot on at work.
Okay, so here we are talking about, take it easy means to relax and feel okay, feel fine. And then he said like, it's as maybe means like, that could be true, that could be right, but it's not the main point I'm talking about, okay?
8. I've got you the last 2 tickets for the show.
Oh, great stuff. I knew you'd swing it for us.
Okay, great stuff means great thing. Swing it, manage to achieve it or to do it, okay? Swing it for us means like you would be able to get the tickets for or achieve this goal or this task, okay? Fine, that's this exercise on what is it about. You need, by the way, you need to learn these expressions by heart, okay? It's very important. Somehow English is related to memorizing phrases by heart, so you get the fluency when, or you get fluent when you want to use them, okay? So like, when you say like, okay, I cannot do it, I cannot manage it, I cannot make it, okay? I told you, previously about using alternatives, and that would make your English smoother, nicer, and more fluent. Okay, so try to memorize them by heart, try to use them every day, try to replace them with words you already know. I gave you the meanings. Try not to use the common meanings, the ones that you use mostly. Try to replace with sentences you know here, or new sentences, and if you already know them, that would be great and fine. Okay, now the second exercise, exercise 3, it's about a conversation. As you can see from the picture here, it's a conversation between a man and a woman. Okay, they look that they are away on a train, on a plane, I'm not sure. Okay, we will listen and check, but I think it's a train. Okay, so here we are going to listen to both of them speaking about, and you are going to try to get the main point of the topic here.
Tape script 1.11. 1.
Great to see you. Come on in.
I was just passing and thought I'd drop it.
Tape script 1.10. 1.
Sorry, it's my
Tape script 1.12.
Yeah, this is the track.
Excuse me, is this yours?
Oh, let me see. Yes, it is. Thank you. I must have dropped it.
Are you going far?
Yeah, all the way to London. What about you?
I'm getting off at Bristol.
Oh, do you live there?
Actually, no. I work in Bristol, but I live in Bath.
Lucky you. I think Bath's a beautiful city.
Yeah, you and thousands of others.
What do you mean?
Well, the tourists. There are just so many all year round.
Oh, yes, that's a drag. You don't like tourists then?
Well, I shouldn't really complain.
How come? You can complain if you want.
Not really. You see, I'm a travel agent, so I make a living from them.
Okay, so we have 2 passengers on a train. Okay, the girl, must have dropped something on the floor, and then he picked it up for her, and then they had a kind of small talk. Both of them are away. The man is from Bath, but he's getting off at Bristol. Getting off. Okay, if you notice that, getting. Most people say that as getting. Okay, at Bristol. He's originally from Bath. The girl said Bath is a great city or a nice city. He said to her yeah, not only you and thousands of others and people. He means by that it's not only her who finds Bath as a beautiful city. Thousands of people find it. So she said to him what do you mean by that? He told her you see tourists all around and all year round, all the time. So to him that's bothering. She said to him it's a drag, that's bothering. So he said I can't complain about this, and because he's a travel agent and he makes his he makes living from tourists, so how can he complain? It's his let me say source of money and work. Okay, so he cannot complain about this, and the girl agreed. Okay, this is the idea about as I said, about this conversation between 2 people. You might have a small talk. Okay, you might talk to somebody on a plane, train, bus station, train station, airport. This is the way, excuse me, is this yours? Okay, excuse me. It's very, very important to use words like excuse me, beg your pardon, let me see, actually, I think sometimes, as a matter of fact, these phrases can make your English more fluent, believe me. Now let's move to the second exercise, which is to the 5th exercise. Only, okay, here we have a table, or 2 tables, again, 1 and 2, and we are going to talk a little bit about stress, okay? Okay, so as I mentioned, in this table, we have 1 and 2. in both of them, in both tables, we have the words that are stressed, okay? Stress in English is very, very important. It gives half of the meaning, actually, or most of the meaning. Generally the stressed word, okay, is the word that, is a little bit in pronunciation, okay? In the way you pronounce the word, the way you say the word, it's a little bit higher, longer, and stronger, okay? So here in this exercise, you only have the words that are stressed. What you need to do is to write the words that are not stressed, okay? And how? You are going to listen and try to catch the words that are not stressed, okay? Start.
1.
Excuse me, don't I know you from somewhere?
Don't I know you from somewhere, okay? Excuse me, don't I know you from somewhere? So, don't I and from are not stressed, okay?
Actually, I don't think so.
Actually, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. See? It's not that strong. Think so. Okay, so think so is clearer than I don't.
Weren't you at Gavin's party last week?
Weren't you? Okay, so weren't you? Okay, weren't you at Kevin? Or yeah, Kevin's party last week. Okay, so weren't you was a little bit weaker than the other words.
Not me. I don't know anyone called Gavin.
Okay, not me. I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone called Kevin. Okay.
Well, someone who looked just like you was there.
Okay, well, someone who looked just like you, there, okay, was there.
Well, that says maybe, but it...
Okay, well, that says maybe.
It certainly wasn't me.
But certainly wasn't me.
I'm sorry.
2.
Tony, hi. Great to see you.
Well, I was just passing and I thought...
Tony, hi, great to see you. Well, I was just passing, okay?
What, I drop in and say hello?
I thought I'd drop in and say hello.
Come on in. Have a drink.
Okay?
You sure? You're not too busy?
Never.
Are you sure? Okay. Aren't you too busy? Are you sure?
You're too busy to talk to you.
Never too busy to talk to you. Never too busy. Okay, see? Like it's, it sounds like it's one word, okay? Too busy talk. Okay? Too busy to talk to you.
Thanks, Joe. It'd be really nice to have a chat.
Thanks, Joe. It would be really nice to have a chat, okay? It'd be really nice. Okay? It'd be really nice to have a chat.
Fantastic. Let me take your coat.
Let me take your coat. Okay, let me take your coat. Okay, so this is like fantastic. Let me take your coat. So you have to practice how to say the words that are stressed in stronger and higher and longer, pitch or tone, and then you have to learn how to say the weaker stressed words. Okay. Yeah, this is the idea about this exercise. It's not difficult to practice it. Okay, you need to learn about stress more. As I already mentioned, stress is very important. It's like when you say hi. Okay, so see this, it gives a different meaning. Feel like hi. So hi, like tired, exhausted, nice, welcoming, feeling comfortable, feeling annoyed. From the way you say the word. Okay, from how long it is, how strong it is, how high, okay, the intonation you have, so it can give most of the meaning or the meaning. Okay, now let's move. I think we're done with this unit. This unit was, as I mentioned, at home and away. We talked about different things like the way you express being homesick. We talked about an Indian boy who was away from home and then he returned after 25 years. We talked about, using grammar related to passive and active. Okay. We made a kind of review on the revision of passive and active and different tenses. We talked about how to use casual language, okay, in our everyday speech and conversations. This is most compound nouns, okay, how can we differentiate and what, the kinds of compound nouns we have. I already said, like, it's like one word, hyphenated, and, separated words or in two words. That was about Unit 1. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got, all what you needed from it. Now we are going to move to Unit 2. I'm going to give you an idea about Unit 2, and, we will start it now. Let me get to the page of Unit 2. And now we have Unit 2, been there, got the t-shirt. Okay, got the t-shirt, been there, like I've been there, I've got the t-shirt. In this unit, we are going to talk about the difference between a traveler and explorer. Okay, we are going to talk about two people. One of them is a traveler and the second one is an explorer. Also, it's about, going away from home. We are going to continue something like this, but it's about new experiences and, to differentiate between, when we talk about an explorer, what tense to use, and when we talk about a traveler, what tense to use. Also, like, we have a traveler here, he's still traveling till now, so most of his speech is in present and present continuous and maybe future plans, and also present perfect. And when we talk about an explorer who was or who is Marco Polo, it's going to be in simple past because the man is already dead. Okay. First, we have test your grammar. As you notice in the title, we have present perfect, simple and continuous, and we have hot words to use like make and do, and we have, we are going to learn something new, which is called exclamation. Okay, now we are going to start with test your grammar. I already gave you the, present perfect, continuous, and simple and continuous. So I'm not going to repeat it, okay? But they said to us, like, word compares, what is strange about the sentences? What should they be? Look at the first sentence. They said Columbus has discovered America. Isn't it a completed action in the past? So it must be discovered, right? Not has discovered. Also, I traveled all my life. I have the word all my life, so it should be like I've traveled or I've been traveling all my life, okay? I've gone everywhere. Okay. 3, I have, I've learned English. It's done. I've learned English or I learned English. And I've been learning English. What do you think of this sentence? Is it correct? By the way, I can use it in all tenses, okay? I've learned English, I've been learning English, and I learned English. So why did they say here, like, there's something wrong about it, or it should be in a different form? Yeah, okay, so what I can say that, it's correct, okay? We don't have to change this one. It's also like, we can use it like this, and I can, as I said, like, there is no reference, no clue that I need to use it in a different sentence. Ouch, I've been cutting my thumb. Ouch, thumb, this is the thumb. Okay, I've been cutting my thumb. That means, like, it's a repeated action. Okay, I've done that many times, so I've been cutting my thumb. This is present perfect continuous. In number 2, they said which of these verb forms can change from simple to continuous. Okay, what is the change in meaning? Yeah, as I already said, I think I gave you an idea about this in number 4. What do you do at the weekend? What do you do at the weekend? Like, you know, when I say, what do you generally do at the weekend? Like, I generally go swimming, or go, let me say, horseback riding, or, you know. So I go, okay? This is repeated action. This is what I generally do. But if I say, what are you doing at the weekend, that means the coming weekend, the next weekend. So I say, like, it's a plan, okay? Maybe I can say I'm visiting some friends, okay? I'm going on picnic. I'm seeing, let me say, I'm seeing my grandma. I'm seeing my doctor. So whatever, okay? So, but it means only next weekend. It doesn't mean like all the weekends here, okay? I don't like her boyfriend. Okay. Simply, this sentence cannot be in continuous, okay? So I don't like is a state verb, and it needs to be in simple present all the time. I had a shower at 7. Done. Completed. If I say I was, you know, having a shower at 7 o'clock, it means like at that time, you know, the action wasn't finished yet. I was still having the bath or the shower. Someone's eaten my sandwich. Someone has eaten my sandwich. This, you know, and someone has been eating my sandwich. If I say like, the simple sentence is like the action is done, is finished, okay, and it expresses a complete action with a present result, okay. So like she now, what is the present result? Like she doesn't have a sandwich to eat anymore, okay. But while if I say the someone has been eating my sandwich, the continuous expresses incomplete action, so he's not finishing or he hasn't finished eating the sandwich yet, okay. So the speaker is looking at the sandwich, okay, and you know, something like this. Yeah, okay. This is the idea about, you know, what I wanted to say. You know, the revision of present and present perfect and present perfect continuous. Let's go to the second exercise, which is off to see the world, okay. Present perfect and simple, present perfect. Simple and continuous. Again, we have to practice this, okay. Yes, okay. In this page, as I mentioned, like you need to see the the exercise. They said, look at the picture and read about the famous explorer Marco Polo and the, you know, backpacker Jake Ellis. Okay. When you say backpacker, it means a person who is traveling from place to place, always with a backpack, okay, and you know, he stays in hotels and, you know, hostels on the way, maybe, you know, a place to rest, and he continues traveling, while an explorer is to find new places, okay. By the way, this is the difference between a traveler and explorer. Traveler, a person who travels in places we already know. An explorer, a person who travels to places that we don't know, or we don't have an idea about, okay. Let's move now to read it, okay, one by one, and check if this sentence can be said by a traveler or the explorer. Again, the traveler is Jake and the explorer is Marco Polo. But first, let's listen to a paragraph about Marco Polo and to know who Marco Polo is, or was, because the man is already dead, okay? Let's listen. Ready? Yeah, listen.
Unit 2, Tape Script 2.1. Marco Polo, 1254 to 1324.
Marco Polo was the first person to travel the entire 8,000-kilometre length of the Silk Route, the main trade link between Cathay, China, and the West for over 2,000 years. He was born in Venice, the son of a merchant. In 1271, when he was 17, he set off for China. The journey took him 4 years. His route led him through Persia Afghanistan, and Mongolia. He travelled by boat, but mainly on horseback, and he frequently got lost. He was met by the Emperor Kublai Khan. He was one of the first Europeans to visit the territory, and he travelled extensively. He went over mountain ranges, down rivers, and across deserts. He stayed in China for 17 years. When he left, he took back a fortune in gold and jewellery. He arrived back home in 1295. He wrote a book called The Travels of Marco Polo, which gave Europeans their first information about China and the Far East.
Backpacker raises money for charity.
Jake Ellis is in Singapore. He's on a 9-month backpacking trip round Southeast Asia. He flew into Bangkok 5 months ago. Since then, he's been...
Now, we are going to listen to Jake Ellis, okay, the traveler. We are going to listen to also a short paragraph about his life.
To Laos, Vietnam, Hong Kong and Cambodia. But Jake hasn't been partying his way around the tourist spots. He's raised thousands of pounds for water aid by doing a sponsored bike ride from Saigon to Angkor Wat. He's learnt a lot about history in Vietnam, seen amazing scenery in Laos, and visited ancient temples in Cambodia. He's been staying in cheap hostels, along with a lot of other travellers.
I've met a lot of really great people, but it hasn't all been easy. I've had diarrhoea a few times, and I've been mugged once. That was really scary.
Apart from that, his only worry is the insects. He's been stung all over his body. He's been travelling mainly by public transport, bus, train and ferry, but when he's been able to afford it, he's also taken the occasional plane. He's been taking it easy for a week, before setting off again for the Philippines.
Once you've got the travel bug, it becomes very hard to stay in the same place for too long.
Okay, guys. So here we heard, paragraph about Marco Polo and another paragraph about Jake Ellis. The idea here is like you are going to read the exercise 2, and check if this sentence is for Jake or if it's for Marco by writing next to each sentence MP for Marco Polo and JE for Jake Ellis. Okay, like exercise, like number 1. He was born in Venice, the son of a merchant. When he was 17, he set off for China. The journey took 4 years. This sentence goes to, of course, Marco Polo. Okay, and if you notice the sentence, okay, we said when he was 17, he set off. Okay, set here in the simple past, of course, because set is an irregular verb. It's set. Set off means like he started his journey for China, and it took him 4 years. This is a completed action. Okay. If you go to sentence number 2, he's learned a lot about history in Vietnam, seen amazing scenery in Laos, and he visited ancient temples in Cambodia. For this sentence, or if you notice, he has learned, okay, he has seen and has visited. So of course it's related to the present. Because of that, we can go to Jake Ellis. Okay, Jake Ellis has done all of these. In sentence number 3, he's been staying in cheap hostels along with a lot of other travelers. We have the word travelers and we have the word hostels, okay, and he has been staying, okay, that was repeated action in the past. Because if it's repeated action in the past, we go for Jake Ellis. Now, exercise 4 or number 4, his route led him through Persia and Afghanistan. These are names of countries and places. Route led is the past of lead. Of course, here we're talking about Marco Polo. Number 5, he was met by the emperor. Then he was one of the first Europeans to visit the territory, and he traveled extensively. So here we're talking about traveled, met, he was met, Also, he was one of the first Europeans. Also, again, we are talking about Marco Polo. In number 6, I've had diarrhea a few times. It's, you know, he was sick and ill. Apart from that, his only worry is that insects. Okay, you know, insects like fly, like spider, like scorpions. We can call them as kind of insects. He's been stung all over his, and also we have what was it? I think it was a disease, okay, at that time, which was like, you know, very famous. Anyway, over his body, he has been stung. Stung is the third form of stink, okay? You know, like, you know the bee, okay? Bee, it's kind of insects that make honey, okay? It stings you when, when you get closer to it. So he has been stung all over his body, okay? Also, we have number 7. Also we have mosquitoes, okay? Mosquitoes is kind of insects. Number 7, he stayed in China for 17 years. Passed. Marco Polo. Okay, when he left, he took back a fortune in gold and jewelry. Okay, fortune like a lot of money. Okay. Also, exercise or number 8, he's been traveling mainly by public transport. Of course, public transport goes to the traveler Jake Ellis. I don't think Marco Polo traveled on public transport. I don't know what could it be or at that time. What it could be at that time. Anyway, this is a previous idea about Marco Polo and comparison between Marco Polo and Jake Ellis and the way they used, the different experiences they had. Again, Marco Polo was an explorer. He traveled to China at the age of 17. He wanted to find new places. Okay, he was met by the emperor. He was, he stayed there, I think, for 17 years, and he was given a fortune of gold and jewelry when he went back to his, hometown. And while Jake is still, he's been traveling a lot. He's been, meeting a lot of people, learning a lot about different cultures till the moment. He's not done yet. Okay. This is the idea about Marco Polo and the other traveler. If you notice, we don't have to repeat it anymore. Here we have, this is Jake, okay, but the backpacker, they said like he raises money for charity. It means like this person travels in order to make money, okay, collect money, collect money to be given to people who are poor. Charity, like to give money to other people or to make it could be institutions and good things for people who like to provide poor people with in Africa, let me say, with food, water, could be education, also making building schools. Okay, so this backpacker raises money for charity. Okay, if you notice here, like his goal was water aid. Okay, he wanted to make he wanted to make a lot of money in order to give it to people who need water. Okay, okay. If you check here, we have sending greetings from the East. This is the what he wanted to say about traveler. Blog by Jake. Okay, he has internet connection, and he's posting where the places he goes to, and he has gone to, and so different, and he has been to also to different places. So here the practice is questions and answers. Read the pairs of questions. I'm not gonna go into this. I want to give it to you as homework. After you listen to them many times, we are going to check all the questions about Marco Polo and Jake. That was everything for today. I wish you all the best. I wish you got all the benefits you wanted from this exercise from this unit. Again, I wanted to go into, I wanted to read more about stress, and I wanted to listen more. Please send me any questions. I'm here to answer all of them. Again, wish you the best. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay home. Goodbye.